Hi, everybody. It's episode 591 of PodQuest.
Hey,
It is Wednesday, December 10th, 2025. I am Chris. With me is Walnut.
yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Drew's taking the week off to catch up on who knows what, catching up on things.
Yeah,
He will
Drew,
almost certainly be back next week to watch Lethal Weapon with us, though.
yeah. Drew just needed a personal day. That's it. That's all. Drew just needed a personal day. It happens. Yeah. How's the week going? Today's my Friday.
Are you off tomorrow?
I'm off tomorrow, and then I'm off on Friday because Friday is cookie day. So
Oh, right. That is this week.
yeah. So I'm off tomorrow to be able to like clean up the kitchen, get any last minute supplies I may need, stuff like that. And like just be prepared for cookie day. And then Friday I'm off all day for cookie day, and then I'm also off on Monday. And man, they made sure to give me so much work on the day before I'm off for 5 days.
That sounds about right.
And then they gave me new work that's high priority work that's like, yeah, most likely I'm not going to look at this for 5 days, but okay. And they're like, yeah, whatever. Like, okay. Yeah, gotta love work. Gotta love jobs, man.
Or something like that.
Yeah. One of these days I won't have to work at that place.
It's not
One
gonna
of these
happen,
days. Look, I mean, the unfortunate thing, to be 100% honest, is so I have been working with a mutual friend of ours to try to get a job where they work. Those listings are no longer on the website. So there is a listing that I'm probably going to apply to in that same place, but also they work for the state. But they work for a county, a municipality in the state, but like it's a state job. And so I'm sure I could use all that to find a job in one of the different counties, but like using their name as reference would probably go easier at their place. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to see if I want to do that other position that's available where they are, but also just try other places for the state job. But yeah, I also just signed a thing because they officially finally after 5 years changed my job title to what I actually am doing, but I am a senior in this position, not just a regular person.
Congratulations.
So maybe that includes a decent pay bump?
No, probably not.
Who knows? And like that's kind of also part of what I'm looking or waiting for is like, if it does include a decent pay bump, then like thank you, mutual friend, for helping all of the help you did with me for me. I appreciate it. You helped me make my resume look really good. But part of the problem with my job was the pay, or most of the problem with my job was the pay, and I'm getting paid enough to where I don't have to work overtime anymore. So it'd be a little bit of a, but also if I do work overtime, I'm getting a lot more money. So, but it really depends on if I get that paid. Probably not. But yeah, that's besides the fact. It's been a week. It's been a week. And we have a PodQuest to record.
We do. That is very true. So what's on the agenda?
On the agenda is I played Trombone Champ, the board game, which is a board game version of the video game Trombone Champ. It's made by Jason Anarchy Games, the same people who made the Cat vs. Human game that we talked about last week. Cobb, you played a movie called Better Watch Out, and then I started something. I just don't know what I started because it's not on the outline. So I'm trying to figure out.
I'm sorry. I got distracted with work stuff earlier.
No, it's fine. I started playing a new game called well, not a new game. It's probably about 6 months old, called Forever Skies, and we're going to get into that as well. I'm only a couple hours in, not too far, but
it's there now.
Look, I just needed to torture you, okay? You know how it is.
But so how's Trombone Champ?
Trombone Champ is a fun and silly game. So, you in Trombone Champ is very similar to Cat vs. Human. I haven't really played any of the other games that they have made. However, my friends did buy, like, amongst me and my friends, we have most of their catalog of games. But they bought them this year at PAX, so we never got a chance to play them. But similar to Cat vs. Human, this is a 2 to 4 player game where you are trying to like build a track, and the only similarity is 2 to 4 player game. Honestly, beyond that, it's you're trying to build a song. out playing the trombone. And so every character gets their own deck of cards that all the decks are exactly the same. Doesn't matter which character you are, there's not like a specific kind of card that's only for one character than the other. So every player gets their own deck of cards, and you then have to put together the notes that are represented on a song's card. And if you do that, you get the bonus points, as well as you get a point for every note you play on that song as well. So you don't you if you only play one note on there and then somebody finishes off the song, you still get a point even if you didn't play the notes that were required. You don't have to play the notes that are required on that song. You can play a note just as a defense because there are ways to cover up a player's point and then you can collect that point. And so you just go around each turn you play one card and then draw a card. And once somebody plays the finito card on a song, you score out that song. The round starts or the game starts with one song and only one song. And then once somebody plays the finito card, you score out that card, get rid of it, and then play two. And then once somebody plays a finito card on one of those two, you score out that card and play two more. So then you have three songs you're working on. So it could get pretty big. And the songs can get very long. In one of the pages of the rule books, it says play in the longest space you can play. Because once you reach the end of the table and you cannot play another card, you cannot play anything except the finito card. So like yeah, so like it tells you like have as much space as possible. And we played on my cousin's kitchen table and like there was a little bit of space in front of me and I was trying to pull things closer to me, but like I was also trying to make sure to keep things in frame. I have no idea if we stayed in frame with some of the length of these songs. We might have went off frame. Um, but it's like it that's part of the game is making the long note. There are ways to defend the your opponents from getting points. So um if you play a hot dog card, you get to place up to two hot dogs. So you can only you place one if you only want to place one, but you it goes on a one on a stack of cards. Not on like a note on like or not on a full song, just like one card. You play it on one card. Um or and you can separate it between songs. It doesn't have to be both hot dogs on the same song. And a hot dog will block them from scoring that point when it's scored out, but it doesn't block them from getting the note. So it doesn't block them from the bonus. Or at least this is how we rolled it. It doesn't necessarily say in the instructions, but it just rules that it blocks them from scoring the point. It doesn't block them from scoring the note. So we played it where you still get the bonus for the note, you just don't get the point or points because there are ways to make notes multiple points by if I play a blue card and the blue card is the rightmost card, the last card in the list, and you play that same blue card, you actually blow out my blue card and you cover my card. So that when we're scoring, if any other opponents didn't blow out your card, you then score 2 points and not 1 point for that card because you take all of the points. So if you're playing a full team of four and you get four people to blow out the same card, whoever's up top gets 4 points. So if you're going to play a hot dog, you're going to put a hot dog on top of that and keep them from getting 4 points. Then there's a baboon card, which you grab the baboon and you place it onto a song. It eats all of the hot dogs that are on that song and any hot dogs that get placed on that song until the baboon is moved. And then yeah, there's a couple of other cards that let you switch around notes and things like that. But it's a very easy, very quick to learn game. That seems like a lot of what Jason Anarchy games are just like quick to learn, fun, silly, short games. I think this one's like tops 30 minutes, something like that. We played twice and we got through the second round in under a half hour. The first one took us about 40 minutes, but that was only because we were teaching and figuring it out for the first round. And yeah, you play for points or toots. You're tooting a horn, so you play for toots. It's funny. The book says a short game is 15 points, a long game is 20 points. However, we would play for 20 points, and most of the time I would get 15, and in the next round somebody who had like 6 points would be able to complete a combo to get the last 15 points they needed. So like there's no real difference in my opinion between a 15-point game and a 20-point game unless we were scoring things wrong, which I don't think we were.
Yeah, you never know.
Um
Like those
yeah,
first time you play a game, it's always like, you mess up stuff along the line.
yeah, but like I don't think we were messing up the scoring. Like it's interesting because like yeah, we were able to score like 20. We were able to score 20 points just as easy as we scored 15. So like the blowout or the blowouts were really like what helped. And yeah, it was just like it's a fun game, and each of the cards say something silly and have some like occasional silly like um silly like captions on them. For instance, the blue card says playing the trombone for 10 minutes burns approximately 1 calorie. One of them says that the trombone was apparently invented to ward off whales back in the ancient days or something like that. Um, and like each of the cards there, each card is a different uh musical note, but it doesn't call them the actual note they are. So like the little like you kind of know music. I think you know music. Like
Yeah,
the bee looking symbol
yeah, like the
on
base
like
stuff.
I guess they call it a
It shows up
pirate
on
sword.
the far left of like the thing.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know
I don't know
what
how to
I
read
just
music, but
I just know it looks like a B, like a lowercase b. Um,
oh no, I was thinking of like the capital B, that's the base
no,
stuff.
no, no.
I
But
have no
there's a
idea what you're
lowercase
talking about.
B, and they just call it the pirate sword. Um, or there's the double note. So it's like there's a line and connecting two notes. They call it the fancy Dan instead of like the actual name for it. And we were me and my cousin's wife were calling it what it said on the card. And my cousin who like took band and whatnot in high school was like, no, this is a that. I'm like, no, it's a fancy Dan. That's a pirate sword. That's what the card says. He's like, no, it's a this. No, it's the card says it's a pirate sword. So it's a pirate sword. Um, yeah, it's really fun. Each of the songs are actual like orchestral songs. Like there was Happy Birthday. I can't even remember the rest of them. Um, I could go through them real quick. Let me pull it out. But like yeah, they're actual songs. Like the songs on the song cards are actual songs. Like I don't know, Ode to Joy, Star Spangled Banner. Yeah, I'm not going to go through them all, but like it is really cool that they did that. I will say I'm not a fan of the box of the packaging because the game is mostly cards and some tokens, and there's no separation in the box. There's no space to put the cards.
Oh, that's a
There's
bummer.
no baggies for the tokens. They didn't like I had to ask my cousins for like rubber bands or something to band up the cards so that they wouldn't fly around all over the place. And right now this box has tokens just thrown all over the place. There's no little baggies or anything for it, so I'm gonna need some baggies for it. Like I even while I was going through the box looking at the cards, I lost one of the tokens that happened to just fall right next to me on the table. So gonna make sure nothing fell on the floor. So yeah, I'm not really happy about like I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world, but it's still like a if you're gonna make a game of just cards, at least have like card holders in the box so that the cards would
Exactly.
lay in that position. Like they're the people who make Cat vs Human, which that box
Oh,
that box fits perfect. Like the cards fit perfectly in that box. It fits perfectly. Everything fits right and snug so that nothing moves. But this one is just an open box. It's just a open box. So it's a little annoying, especially since the player cards are all the same, but they're just different. They're just different colored backings on them. So like you don't want them flying all over the place and then having to sort through them each time you go to play. You want to have them all stacked up in a pile and put them down. So that was like my only complaint about it. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's a fun, silly game. Apparently I thought you said that these ones haven't even come out yet, or weren't coming or like were gonna be released soon. Um, but apparently there's an expansion for it already.
Oh wow.
Uh, or there's an expansion coming because a there's something in the instructions about an expansion. Let's see. The expansion extension. The expansion includes long trombone cards for each deck, which are worth 2 toots, but have no note and don't help the song bonuses. Yeah, so there's like additional card decks that we can get for it, which would be interesting to add a different kind of play style. I will say the other thing, the the instructions say that you play one player card or whatever, one musician card per turn. However, they also say you draw up to X amount of cards in your hand. So I think it's like you're supposed to have 4 cards in your hand. It says every turn you draw up to 4 cards in your hand. So like it's a little confusing as to why they would say draw up to when you should already have, if you're only playing 1 card per turn, you should have 3. You should only need to draw 1 card. It should say draw a card and end your turn. So that was a confusing part of the. So like I don't know if it's meant to be where if you play a non-note card, you can then play another card or something like that.
Right. Which makes
Which
sense.
like it would make sense to allow you to do that, but at the same time the instructions were a little ambiguous on that too. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think you'd have fun with it too. It was just a silly, quick little cute game that these guys made, and I was happy about it. I was happy to play it.
That's nice. Yeah, and I know Trombone Champ was like it's a video game. Not like a video game, it is a video game.
Yeah, it's a video game.
So it's kind of neat that like people have found a way to like take some different types of games and turn them into tabletop games, because we also saw like it was like the first or second PAX Unplugged. There was the Super Hot like tabletop card game.
Hmm.
Super Hot was like it was like the vector line graphic thing where like they had a VR version, but there was also just the PC version of the game where like you were in a VR simulation to like practice killing things essentially.
Hmm.
And the whole idea was the world froze when you stopped moving. So when you move, everything else moves. So there was like this cool like kind of like Matrix thing about it where you could like dodge bullets by like not moving and like
Yeah,
planning like your routes and all. But nice. Nice. Glad you enjoyed
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's a fun game. Y'all should check out Trombone Champ from Jason Anarchy Games. We'll have a video on that in like a week or so. I still gotta cut this week's video for Cat vs Human. I have it scripted. I just have to cut it and take some B-roll shots of like the boxes and whatnot and things like that. So that's gonna be hopefully getting done tonight.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, it's been a very busy couple of weekends. It really
It,
has.
it sounds it.
Yeah, like I don't know, like yeah, I mean it was yeah, since PAX I haven't really had a weekend. I mean, I guess technically you could say no, because Thanksgiving was our board game night, right? Or no,
Yeah,
our
that's
board
Saturday.
game night was the weekend after Thanksgiving. No, it was Thanksgiving. And then
Yeah,
a
yeah, it
board
was the
game, yeah.
Saturday after.
Yeah, so I haven't had like a chill weekend, a weekend to like sit down and get stuff done in a while. And so like every any time I have like time to just relax and watch TV, I'm just like, all right, let me take it now because like I'm just tired and need to chill and not do anything. And then it's like, oh well, now I'm behind on editing or this or that or whatever. And yeah, I just gotta find time. That next weekend, I shouldn't have anything to do. Shouldn't have anything to do next weekend. So next weekend's gonna be all Walnut.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
next
Well,
Friday is more board games.
yeah, but that's Friday. It's not Saturday. It's
Okay, I'll give you that. You get to
yeah.
just be a bum on Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday or Sunday. Yeah. Yeah.
No, both Saturday and Sunday.
No, because one of the days will be like it'll probably most likely be um Saturday I'll be doing editing and whatnot, and then Sunday I'll just chill and then play stream later into the day. Or go stream later into the day, because like there's still so much I have to do and well no, I don't have to do it. There's still so much content in Expedition 33 before I'm at the last chapter, and I could go and beat the game at any time, but there's so much bonus content to do, and like I got to do it because that game is so good.
You don't have to do it. You want to
No,
do it.
no, there's
That's
a
the difference.
different the thing no, there's a difference between I have to do it from Final Fantasy VII aspect and I have to do it from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth aspect, and I have to do it from Expedition 33's point of view. I had to do it in Rebirth because it was on the map, and I had to go do it. I have to do it in Expedition 33 because I fucking love this game, and I have to do it.
Okay, you know what? That's fair.
Yeah, if
That
it's
is
on the
fair.
map, I have to go do it. Just because it's there, I know where it is, I have to go do it. Expedition 33 doesn't actually have any quest markers. It just has locations you can go visit. There's also not a lot of actual side quests. It's just locations you can go visit. And so, like, I'm going to the locations, but there's no real quests. So, like, it's also hard just trying to remember, like, where have I been? Where haven't I been? Plus, I'm only, like, 5 achievements away from getting all the achievements. And I think I'm only going to not get one of them if I do everything. And that's because the one that I'm not going to get is defeat a boss without taking any damage.
Oh yeah,
Un,
that one seems like it's probably hard.
un,
Unless you
un,
did something like dropped it to easy mode, if that's even a thing.
it is there. You can like change the difficulty, but like it's what is it? It's more about getting the perfect dodges and shit like that to do that. So I have 41 out of 55 achievements. So I have 14 more achievements left, and only most of them are locked behind secret achievements. But like the defeat a boss without taking any damage has a 23.43% gamer unlock, whereas the reach level 99 only has a 3.93 gamer unlock. So I'm trying to figure out like what boss did people go to that they got that. If there's like a repeatable boss or something like that you can go to get that, or just a very easy boss, or is there like a boss that they were able to outscore, like just outspeed and just kill them before they even had a turn? So like,
Oh, I didn't thought about that.
yeah. But like most bosses or boss type monsters in the game will have at least a turn no matter what before your players. A lot of them have like 2 or 3. So like I don't know, and I kind of want to do like I kind of want to look that one up. And then like I don't want to look up the secret achievements until I beat the game, and then I'm sure most likely it'll let me reload back into it. Where I will then go through whatever secret achievements I don't have, because I don't want to get like spoiled by any secret achievements or anything.
Right.
But
Which
yeah,
also makes sense because yeah, the achievements can easily spoil stuff in a game.
yeah, like I'm very very close to I like I said I could go and beat the game on Sunday. I could just easily beat the game on Sunday, but I want to I feel like I need to get it all because. Like this game is game of the year. This game is game of the year, 100%. Like I don't think the only people who are saying it's not game of the year are the people who are multiplayer only gamers. And
Probably, yeah.
it's I don't remember what the streamer's name is. But he's like he had come out and was like, don't let that stupid Claire Expedition game win Game of the Year because Arc Raiders deserves to be Game of the Year. First of all, Arc Raiders uses fucking generative AI. Doesn't deserve shit. Second of all, no, Arc Raiders kind of looks boring. Like it's an extraction shooter. I don't know how how much more excited you can get at that game after about like 20 hours of playing. Whereas I am in our fucking I don't know of Expedition 33, and I'm still having a blast. Like, I haven't gotten to the point, like, where most games that are long, I get to a point where I'm just like, I just need to beat this. I haven't gotten to that point yet, and I'm at 2 days and 4 hours game time. So that's 50 hours, 52 hours of game time. Whereas, like, look at an extraction shooter, like, you're gonna go, you're gonna loot things, and then you're gonna leave. Like, that gameplay loop sounds boring unless you're being a fucking asshole or a troll and camping the extraction zones to kill players. Then you're just a fucking dick. And there's a reason I don't play games like that. Because if you die in those games, you lose your gear and everything else you had in that, like, quest, in that run. So, like, you lose everything. And that sucks. That just sucks. And I see clip after clip of people just getting jumped in the extraction point. And it's like, well, that fucking sucks. Because you just spent a half hour, 45 minutes in there, and you're about to leave and check out, and people just like, all right, well, now it's time to kill you then. Like, come on. That just it's the extraction shooter genre is just such a weird genre for the like I understand how like exciting and nerve-wracking it could be. I've had times like that in Sea of Thieves, which is an extraction shooter. It's just a sandbox PvE game. But
Oh,
like
okay, yeah.
when there are people chasing after me and like it can be exciting. But like if there are days where we don't want that and we're doing our own thing and people just roll up on us, it does kind of suck sometimes. And so you can't like you can't let it get to you. But like our last session of Sea of Thieves, twice we had people roll up on us while we were in the middle of doing a PvE thing. We weren't fighting anybody. We didn't have any loot on us, but they saw us while we were fighting this thing and just came and attacked us. And it's like that sucks. Or we've had instances where we defeated something, we're patching up the ship, and as we're patching up the ship, they come right at us and attack us and take us out before we even have a chance to react. It's like we just spent 25, 30 minutes fighting this Kraken, and you kill us. Like, that sucks.
That does
That's
suck.
frustrating. Like, but that's the nature of a game like that. That's the nature of an extraction shooter as well. Like, that's what you got to deal with. But it just, to me, especially when it's like as soon as I hear a game uses any sort of generative AI, I'm just like, fuck that game. Fuck that game. Like Anno 117, I think I talked about this earlier. Anno 117, which is a game that I played the previous version of, Anno 1700 or 1770. That game uses generative AI for the load screens. They used a couple of Gen AI images. And Ubisoft, of all fucking people who developed this game, was like, oh yeah, our developers missed that. They were supposed to be placeholders and they were supposed to edit them. Edit the generative AI image.
Wow.
Fuck you,
I remember
Ubisoft.
that.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, as soon as I hear, and I think Arc Raiders Gen AI is primarily like audio based or something like that. But there's also this new game, Something Wins. That's it's a free to play MMO style game. That also uses generative AI. Where Winds Meet, that's it. Where Winds Meet uses some form of Gen AI for um uh voiceover and so like I don't care if you're using it for art, for voiceover, for storytelling. Fuck you. Like that's just no, don't. That's bullshit. Like you should just hire people to do this. Hire writers, hire people. Don't fucking have a computer make art.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's my rant. But yeah, it's so like yeah, when somebody says Arc Raiders should win Game of the Year, it's like Arc Raiders wasn't made by just people. They used AI for that. So you can go fuck off right there. They don't deserve it. Look at Expedition 33. But those people will sit there and be like, "Yeah, but that game's not exciting." Well, what do you mean? Well, I don't understand how turn-based combat works. Why doesn't everyone just attack at the same time? My guy, shut up. Like that's a stupid fight. That's a stupid argument. It's just how it works. It's how the game works and it's exciting. Well, it's boring. You're just pressing a button. Well, same with every other fucking game you play. You just press a button. It's just you press it in a different combo.
Yeah, some people just suck.
Yeah.
That's kind of that is the
Yeah.
moral of the story. Some
It was
people suck.
it was somebody who said there was somebody out there who was arguing in defense of Expedition 33 and their response was if you don't shoot or kick something, they don't play it and they don't like it. And it's like, yeah, that's true. There's people that like if it doesn't involve a ball or a bullet, they don't like it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is very true.
Yeah.
Well, shall we move along?
Yeah, we can. I was going to go on another part of that rant, but that would just continue the rant even more.
Yeah, no. Let's just move along.
Yeah.
So I watched Better Watch Out, which is a movie from 2016 that is holiday adjacent. Let's call it. Found it kind of by like happenstance. Was just like scrolling through the streaming stuff last night. And it sounded like it could be interesting. I thought it was going to be like an adult themed Home Alone. So like the description for the movie was babysitter babysitting 12-year-old has to survive intruders. So like and like it was listed as a horror movie. Um and one of like the splash screens on like the streaming thing showed the girl like tied to a chair and like blood all over her face. So I'm like, okay, so like this is not just like goofy comedy. This like shit's going to actually happen. Um, and it ended up actually being a pretty good movie. Both Erica and I enjoyed it. It fucking went in a direction we did not expect in any way, shape, or form, which I think is kind of why we ended up liking it as much as we did.
Hmm.
So it's a 10-year-old movie. Rich, I can't imagine you will ever watch this, so I'm just going to spoil it. Um, so the movie set up, like I said, it's a girl. I guess she's like 17 or so. She's coming over to babysit a kid who she's been babysitting for a number of years. He's like 12, almost 13. He has a big crush on her, um, and for some reason thinks that he has a chance, as like literally like a almost 13-year-old. Um, and in the movie, like you find out that like she recently ish ended one relationship and is in a different one, which is also ending because she's about to move. And then as things are kind of going along, they're just going about their night. They order pizza, um, and then like somebody throws like a brick through a window. They slash her car tire. Um, the brick says, "If you leave, you die." One of the kid's friends had come over, and he tried to run away and appeared to be shot and killed in the backyard. So it kind of goes on one of those like they're trapped in the house hiding from like somebody with a gun, like kind of like stalking them through the house. The 12-year-old kid gets like his dad's handgun. Uh, and then very quickly it turns out that this was a thing that the two kids put together to try and like make the one kid look like a hero so that the girl would like him. And like she rightfully was pissed because like they were carrying real guns. It's not like they were just fucking around. Um, and then it immediately fucking escalates because it turned out that this kid, absolute sociopath, like fucking out of his mind, has no remorse. He gets into an argument with her and punches her in the face, and she falls down the stairs and gets knocked out. He then ties her or duct tapes her to a chair. And it doesn't get like they don't go like creepy with it, but they definitely go to like an uncomfortable place with like sexual assault. Like they basically force her to play
Hmm.
truth or dare. They only do one like sexual thing, but it was still like, yeah, that's wrong all the way around. Um, but then like it turns out this kid had kind of planned everything. He used her phone before throwing it into like a fish tank to text her current boyfriend to get him to come over, and proceeds to stab him in the face with a pencil and then knock him out with a baseball bat and also tie him to the chair. And then him and his friend had been arguing prior to that about what would happen. You in the movie's Home Alone, you know how Kevin like throws the paint cans over like the banister with like the rope on them, and it like hits the guys and they just get knocked backwards and everything, but they're ultimately okay.
Yeah.
Um, he decides to do that to this girl's boyfriend, and it literally like his head blows up, like not blows
Hmm.
up, but like it kills him, and
Yeah.
it covers the girl and his friend in blood. And this kid is just upstairs laughing. Um, and then he calls her ex boyfriend to come over and hangs him from a tree after getting him to write a note that sounds like a suicide note, and like it's the most like obviously planned out sequence. Like the dude shows up, um, the kid pops out from like the shed in the backyard and goes, "So she sent me out here to talk to you. She wants you to like write down your feelings and explain like what went wrong or whatever." Um, and so like he gets him to do that sitting on like a swing, and then as soon as he's done writing it, the kid throws a noose over his neck, pulls it so it like knocks him down, and then jumps on a riding lawnmower to like actually pull his body up into the tree so that it actually kills him. And then ties that line down, drives the lawnmower back into the shed, and leaves the note on the ground that reads like a suicide note. Because it's like, I forget what the girl's name was, but it's like, "Dear whatever, I'm sorry for everything. I hope you can forgive me. signed his name. Um, and so yeah, this kid kills both of her boyfriends, or ex-boyfriend, current boyfriend. Then his friend is having does not like the way that all this went and tries to free her. So the kid comes in and shoots him with a shotgun in the side, screams at him for making him shoot him, and then shoots him in the face. And then goes over and stabs the girl in the neck for not loving him. And then spends the next like hour and a half setting it all up so that it looks like the kid he hung not only committed suicide but also murdered everybody else.
Mhm.
And like this kid was 12.
Yeah.
Only the girl didn't die. She put duct tape over the wound and kept herself from bleeding out. So the movie ends before like you see like the outcome, but you see her getting wheeled into an ambulance and alive, and the kid just in his room looking out the window like horrified.
Hmm.
Also, his dad, Patrick Warburton.
Yeah, I was looking at the wiki for the movie.
Yeah.
It's a good cast, and I remember the movie. I remember like trailers and shit for it.
Yeah, apparently it did not do well. It had like a $3 million budget and didn't even make 200,000 back in the box office.
Mhm.
I don't really remember it getting much publicity either, so I'm not totally surprised it didn't make much. But like,
Yeah.
it was actually it was good. Like I said, did not expect it to go the direction that it did. And like it did not pull any punches. Like it just went 100% for it.
Yeah.
And like frankly, like the young actors, because I'm assuming the girl was probably actually in her 20s, and at the time of this, I think I looked like the main kid was probably like 16 at the time. So like he definitely wasn't 12 or 13, and you could tell he wasn't that young. But like they still both did a really good job. Like especially him being like this like fucking just absolutely insane little shit. And yeah, like it was good. It definitely worth watching. But yeah, so that is all I've really done this week. Other like we saw each other at the Christmas Village.
Yeah, we
Um,
went to the Christmas Village in Philly, and it was a surprise to run into you guys twice actually.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, like real quick back on the movie. We can talk about Christmas Village in a second. Back in the movie, the wiki says the film received generally positive reviews for the directing, the film's twists, and the performances of the cast, but criticism for its tonal inconsistencies and ending. So apparently, people didn't like that she survived, probably, because you getting stabbed in the neck, you're probably not
or
surviving that.
or
Or
if not that, it's just the ambiguity of there not really being any shown repercussions. Like it
yeah,
literally just
like
ends with her getting into the ambulance, which is not uncommon for movies like that. And I will say the like end bit of the movie, like all goes very quickly.
yeah,
Like basically from the point that he kills the first boyfriend. Because up to this point, you almost in your head think that maybe this is just like a series of like like he's throwing a tantrum. He went too far. He's not going to do anything too crazy. He's just like a spoiled little brat. And like then like right, I want to say it's either right before or right after he actually kills the first boyfriend. Um, that's when you kind of find out that like he had actually started planning all this. It wasn't just happenstance. And he literally says at one point that the dude just showed up too early. He was supposed to show up like 30 minutes later and got there too quick.
mm.
But yeah, it was still a fun movie to watch.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks interesting. It looks kind of silly, but yeah.
Like surprisingly like visceral. Like they don't show the actual paint can hitting the face, but the amount of just like splatter and everything between the actual paint and the blood, like it was a lot. And like that same guy got stabbed in the face with a pencil, and like you see that like that one you actually see.
Yeah.
But yeah, uh, fun movie. And I think we have one other thing to talk about today.
Yeah. I mean,
Skies for Forever
yeah.
Skies.
Yeah, Forever Skies. But real quick, back to the Christmas Village. So while at
Okay.
Christmas Village, there was a caramel place out like right at Love Park, like right as soon as you got to Love Park, there was like
Yeah.
artisanal caramels. I think I told you I bought them. I bought them with the intention of like, you know what, I can like put a couple in each Christmas box. But I also brought them to my cousins for game night, and we each like had one or two or whatever. Not like it wasn't like a ton of caramels. It was like 12 of each kind, so it would have been like only like one like three or four in each box. It wouldn't have been a lot, but just a little bit of a special treat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that box is gone. Those caramels were too good. It was a good idea, but poor execution within myself of, eating them. Uh, and I don't know the name of the place, and I'm not gonna go back to Christmas Village to buy them because that's gonna be too much money. That's gonna be
Yeah,
too
I mean,
much
I,
time.
I know exactly what booth you're talking about because it is right there. And
Yeah,
for anyone not sure, Philadelphia from like it's the weekend before Thanksgiving usually until I think the weekend of New Year's. At City Hall and adjacent Love Park, they do like a little like Christmas. It's like a German themed like Christmas village, and
yeah,
it's a bunch of like small shop vendors like setting up like a lot of like handmade goods and foods and things like that. There's
yeah,
a few bigger shops there, but a lot of them really are like small businesses and stuff like that.
yeah,
Handmade crafts, a lot of stuff you could get people as Christmas gifts.
yeah.
Um,
It's
Also a
an
lot of
it,
food.
Yeah, it's a nice place that like I'd never been to. My mom, I don't think she had ever been to, or it'd been a long time. My dad doesn't like going into Philly in general, so like he didn't want to he doesn't often bring my mom to it. But my mom was asking to go the past few years, and so like this year he was going to bring her, and then I offered, and so my dad was like, "Great, now I don't have to bring you." And my mom was like, "Yeah, that's fine. I don't care as long as I get to go." And my mom even said, "Your dad's so happy that you're bringing me." um, but yeah, and it's just like yeah, a bunch of just shops, but it's just like we talked about this. I was so shocked that it doesn't open till noon.
It has opened earlier before, and so you guys got there early. Did you like walk through it at all, or did you like get there and see that like nothing was open?
We got there at like 11-ish, and we did walk through, and some shops had like their things open, but not all. Not like I would say maybe like of the I would say maybe like 1% of the shops were opened up, but like maybe I don't even think the coffee places were open. Like yeah, nothing was actually we could walk around, but nothing was actually opened. So we couldn't buy anything. And like I hadn't eaten breakfast that day. I was hoping to find something to eat for breakfast because it was 11 o'clock and I was getting hungry. Um, well, yeah, they didn't open stuff generally doesn't open until noon. Which
Like
is
it's
just
definitely
it's
opened
crazy.
earlier in the past. Like I don't know if that was a new thing for this year or if it was like that before, but we've definitely got there earlier than that and been able to like do stuff. Like
Yeah,
stuff's open, like so yeah, that was weird. I agree.
yeah. But yeah, we got to. My mom wanted to go check out the Wanamaker building that's over there, which is a historical site in Philly. That's where Sears used to be. And they used to have an indoor light display. Well, since Sears left, they still have the indoor light display from the building. Um, that there, and it's the light display, and there's also a giant like pipe organ in this building that are like the building itself, the actual like center area of the building and the pipe organ are all historical sites. So they can't remove them. However, the building owner wants to renovate to try to get people try to get revenue from the building since they don't have the store there anymore. So they did the light show this year, and then it won't be playing again for a couple of years. So this is like the last time you could see it for a few years. So we were able to at least check that out. It was cute.
That's cool.
It was like it's like you go into this like the center of this building. I want to call it a courtyard, but it's closed in, so it's not a courtyard, but it's basically an interior courtyard. Or whatever you would call like this not an atrium. I don't even know what you would call it. But it's just the center of the building
I think
and there's
Atrium's probably right.
yeah, and like there's balconies wrapping all around on each floor looking into the center of this building. And you look up and you can just see like the lights and it's like it's very classic because you can it's like it's not LEDs, not all LEDs. It's or like it might be, but it's like you can see the snowman that's gonna be shown in a light form when the show is going. It's just like it's going through the story of different Christmas songs and carols, and you're just watching the lights play. It's obviously very dated, but it's like it's a classic. It's a historical thing that people like to do in Philly. Um, I actually thought about vlogging while I was there. Um, but like I don't know why I decided not. I'm sure my mom would have loved it if I like vlogged and whatnot. She'd be all down for it to be on camera and whatnot. But like just when it comes to vlogging around my family, it's just I get a little weird about it. Um, but like I thought about vlogging and recording the light show and stuff like that. But I'm kind of glad I didn't because of how packed it got to be that we didn't really get to do much after the light show. Like once noon hit, it was bumping and like you couldn't.
Yeah.
The lines were so long. Like there was a baked potato shop that I was like eyeing up to go get food. And the line for that, it would have taken like luckily they like I could have gone and gotten food from them because they were right next to the main stage, and I could have gone and still watched the show while waiting in line, but like by the time I would have gotten my food, the show would have been over, and it'd been like that took too long. But yeah, it was I don't know if it was just like the specific weekend that it was just very busy, or that it was
No,
like nicer out.
it's always
Yeah,
that busy.
yeah, like
Weekdays you can get in and out a little bit easier. Saturdays and Sundays, it is
yeah,
always packed.
yeah. And I told my mom, I was like, I'm gonna let my buddy know next time. Plan for try not to have the show at 1 o'clock. Maybe have it at like 4, so this way we can actually spend time at Christmas Village before the show. Be like, hey, try to make sure that your band sings later, not earlier. But
Or
yeah,
just don't have other plans where you have to leave immediately after.
that's the other thing. Like I wasn't expecting it to be as crazy as it was, and I wasn't expecting it to be as busy. I also like I had originally planned to leave an hour later than we did. But my mom was like, "No, it's actually pretty big, so we should go early so that we can actually look around." I was like, "Yeah, sure." So my plan was to leave at 11 and get there at 12. But then my mom talked me into leaving at 10 to getting there at 11. Well, if I left at 11 and got there at 12, it would have been just opening. But we would have
Right.
missed the Wanamaker building since we
True.
got there early and everything was closed. Like, and maybe I would have been able to get like some real food as it had just been opening and not like a half hour after it had been opened. And also, had I known that like the other like Love Park had a lot more things there, like I said, I'd never been there, but it was cool. But yeah, let's move on. Unless you have more to say. Oh, the bacon place, the candied bacon was so good. It was so good. I got
Like for how expensive it is, I looked at it. I'm just like, I don't care about candied bacon that much for. So wasn't it like $6 or $7? Or am I thinking of something else?
$7 per bacon. Yeah, I got two
Yeah,
because I was just that hungry. And like it's very thick cut bacon though.
I did
Like
see that, but it's
I
at the same time, it's just like it's bacon.
yeah.
Like I could do it
I
at
mean,
home if I really wanted
but
to.
but at the same time, like you're at a carnival. Like you're gonna have to expect to spend extra money. Like you were talking to me, the
Oh yeah,
macarons were like the macarons were like what was it like $15 for six or something like that?
22 for 6.
22 for six. Yeah, like my box of caramels, which got 36 caramels or something like that, was $30. Like
Yeah, but
you're gonna have
I paid $14 for a sandwich
yeah.
versus $7 for a piece of bacon.
Yeah, I spent $14 on two pieces of very thick cut bacon on a stick, and I was incredibly hungry. Like, so maybe that's also a part why it was so delicious.
Yeah,
But yeah,
we also got the Korean corn dogs. So,
yeah,
but yeah, let's move along.
yeah.
You played Sky Forever. I don't have the thing open.
Forever Skies. So, over on YouTube, just real quick, I do the Let's Plays, and was doing just 7 Days to Die for a while. And the original plan was to do 7 Days to Die and wrap up the series as the year wrapped up, and then start a new game. However, my 7 Days to Die series, because that game doesn't really have an actual goal besides survive, there's no reason to do anything other than a permadeath series. So once you die, the series is over. And so I ended up dying um, on Wednesday last week. So, or no, I ended up dying on Friday last week. So today, this Wednesday, I aired a finale episode, which was just me doing a final horde with the horde base I've been using. And so I was like, you know what? I gotta start a new series. I can't just not release videos for a couple of weeks. So there's a game that I've been eyeing up that I saw a streamer friend of mine playing recently that I'm like, oh, I should play that. And it was on sale and it's called Forever Skies. And what it is um the easiest way to explain it, but also this is like minimizing it very well a lot, is it's Subnautica but blimps. So in this one you are someone who lives in a space station above Earth, and there is a virus going around that is killing humanity. And so they've been researching the virus on Earth, but everyone on the space station has it or is catching it. You are one of the infected that is sent down to Earth to try to find the last group of people that went to Earth to investigate this virus in a way to potentially cure it. When you get to Earth, the entire Earth is covered by like a dust or a smog, and you are in the upper levels like of high rises basically, and you're floating around on like from high rise to high rise, exploring locations because the smog and dust and everything below is toxic, and if you inhale it, you're going to die. It's not the virus that'll kill you; it's something else, and it's toxic, and you just can't breathe down there. Um. So you then you crash land on Earth trying to find this other group. You follow their trail to find it, and you work on upgrading and building your skyship, your blimp, to explore different locations. So like think of it for those players who do these like survival crafting games. Think of it as a combination between Subnautica and maybe Raft, but with blimps.
Okay.
So you're like in Raft, you're building a raft that you float along, and your base is this raft that you build and live on. Well, your skyship is your quote raft, is your base. So you bring your base with you instead of finding a home base. And yeah, it's really cool. Like you're flying around on a blimp. You have to place engines, and like the more engines you have, the faster you go. You have to collect supplies. There's stuff floating around in the sky that's like different plastics or metals and things like that. You can absorb like you can get like silicone and things like that to craft different things, and you're just uncovering the mystery of what happened on Earth, what this this strange dust is, and if there is a way to cure this virus. I'm only a couple of hours in, but like I found a location and I went down into it and I was checking it out, and I found like this strange alien beast thing down there. So I was like, oh no, oh my God, what is that? And yeah, I like it. If you're into these kinds of like survival exploration sorts of crafting games, this is definitely like a game for you. Like if you liked Subnautica, if you like Raft, if you like stuff like that, I would say like you'd probably enjoy this. If you like the fantasy sci-fi style, like not fantasy sci-fi, but sci-fi style of like a virus going to kill humanity, and you have to go to a planet, and it turns out it's Earth, kind of thing. Like it's a cool game, and it's a very cool concept of like, oh, you can't go below a certain level of the a certain altitude, or you're going to start inhaling this dust or whatever. The art's really cool. I don't know if the game is very well optimized though. Like at times, like especially when loading, it runs pretty poorly. And I don't think it has anything to do with like me recording or anything like that. I think it's just how the game is. I have lost
That's a
frames
bummer.
just loading and going down locations. But like it's not like it doesn't take me out of the game. It doesn't break the game. It's not like it's in the middle of something crazy going on. It's just, oh, the elevator's going down. Oh, we're gonna lose a couple frames during the load sequence and things like that. It's like, oh, that sucks. But it's because like you're on this big map and like the whole map is loaded. So when you go from, I'm assuming when you go from the upper levels of the atmosphere to the lower levels of the atmosphere, it loads from upper to lower, so that this way it doesn't have to have it all in one. So like that's just what the skipping and jumping was. Um, but yeah, it was a strange little like occurrence that happened once or twice. But yeah, I enjoy it. I like it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be too long of a series either. As long as I stick to the story and don't like jump away too far. It's not gonna be something like Enshrouded and stuff like that where like you can spend a million hours building your base and then just exploring the world. Like there is an objective, there is a quest line, there's a storyline, and I don't think the world is that big. I haven't looked into like how long the game is going to be or anything like that, but I've cleared quite a few quests, a handful of quests in just 3 to 4 hours of playing. Um, but like I'm still very early on in the game with crafting and development of like the different things that I can make. My airship doesn't even have walls yet. It just is a bunch of boxes that have caution tape in the openings. So like
Okay.
you eventually get like bigger walls and ability to like farm the common materials so that you don't have to keep resourcing it or gathering them while you're out, and like bigger backpacks and bigger storage containers and things like that. Like I'm excited to see how big my like base can be. But it's like it's still just very early on right now. So like see how it goes. But yeah, it's a really cool game. It's a neat one. Um yeah, I like it.
Nice. Glad you're enjoying it. So this will be like your new like YouTube or one
Yeah,
of your YouTube things going
it's
for a while.
yeah, it's my new YouTube series. So like for anybody who doesn't know, I was at one point doing two Let's Plays a week. I was doing one episode of 7 Days to Die and one episode of something else. This year for a while it was Oblivion. However, I was getting to a point where like for instance 7 Days to Die, I had pre-recorded like 15 to 20 episodes at one point.
I remember that. I
Um
remember when you had that huge buffer for a while.
Yeah, and it took me so long, and it was 2.0 with the newest update that I started with when it came out. And now at this point when it just ended, my 2.0 series had just ended, was like 2.5 is supposed to be being released soon. And like it like they're constantly updating this game, and if I want to like keep up with the updates, I was like I need to just, if I'm going to play a game like 7 Days to Die that gets constantly updated like this, I need to release these constantly. So I also just lost interest in playing Oblivion. I like it just wasn't pulling any
I
joy
yeah,
from me.
which
Um,
it's an older game, and I feel like you played Oblivion back in the day, right? Or was this your first time playing it?
I played Oblivion back in the day, the original. I've never beaten it. I've never gotten too far into it. This is probably the furthest I've gotten into Oblivion, but it's just like I I love the Bethesda games. Don't get me, I love them. I'm more of a Fallout fan. I think like when it comes to video games, I'm a fantasy or a sci-fi fan, and when it comes to like everything else, I'm a fantasy fan. So like when it comes to especially a Bethesda game, like Bethesda Studios, I think they make great sci-fi games. I think the Fallout games are fantastic. I Starfield is another story, but I'd barely touch that because they just their random gen worlds were just trash. And honestly, the game, from what I hear, just like I don't know, it just didn't pique my interest as much as like a Fallout did. So maybe that's more Western, actually. I guess Fallout would be. Um, but like when it comes to Bethesda, like the Fallout series like holds a place in my heart. I love it. But like the Elder Scrolls stuff, like I played Oblivion and it's fine, but like I have more of a love for Skyrim. I have more of nostalgia for Skyrim. I've played a lot more of Skyrim. I've done a lot more in Skyrim. So like if I were to go do a new series in the Elder Scrolls world, I would probably rather go to Skyrim. But like if I'm gonna do that, then maybe I'll do Fallout, but I've tried a Fallout series twice before. Um, but ended up doing like permadeath sort of runs, and like those games are a little too janky to do a permadeath style gameplay. But when I decided not to do permadeath, I was still playing survival, which didn't have autosaves, and so I would lose an hour of content if I died because it does not autosave. And you don't have quick saves. Like you have to sleep, you have to rest in order to save, and I just wouldn't do that. Because I would forget. So like it's hard to make a series out of a Bethesda game, but it's also hard to hold my interest in a Bethesda game if I'm only playing it for an hour or two a week,
That's
because
fair.
there's just so much to do in these games. Um, and it's like I need to just sit down and stick with it and play it, or I need to not play it. So I kind of just lost. It's not that I thought it was necessarily bad. I was just like I lost interest, and it's also like when it comes to these big games, it doesn't make sense to me to just explore. Like, you're given a quest. Go do the quest. However, it makes sense to explore the like and do side quests when you get to each different town. Sure, like you do your main quest, but then you go talk to somebody. And this may be like the D&D in me and stuff, but like you go, you
Fucking
talk to the
nerd.
people you're supposed to talk to, and then like oh, well, you know what? I just went to the bar and I heard there's a couple of rumors. Let's check these out and see what's around here before we head on out to go do what we have to do. But like it's always, and this is across all Bethesda games, like why am I not doing my main quest that I was tasked to do? This whole game is about this main quest. Why am I going off and doing like why would my character not do that quest and go join the Thieves Guild or the Mages Guild? Like, why wouldn't I be doing the main quest? And so, like, I tried to stick to hey, I'm only going to be doing things if I have a quest for it. But eventually, I wanted, I know if you do the Thieves Guild quest, you get the skeleton key, which makes lock breaking easier. And I was just like, I want that. So let me just do the Thieves Guild quest. And the Thieves Guild quest just kind of sucked. And it overall, from like what I've been told, like, a lot of the Oblivion quest lines just aren't that good until you get the expansion shit, and I'm like, I just don't really want to do any of this. Like, give me a better quest lines and give me a better reason to do some of this other stuff. Like, Skyrim, at least, at one point, the main quest is go and see the world and, like, find these dragon words and shit like that. And, like, there's a reason to go out and explore. Um, but yeah, it's not in it doesn't feel like that way in Oblivion. So I just like I just wasn't bringing joy. So yeah, I gave up doing Oblivion and doing two Let's Plays to just be like, all right, let me focus on one Let's Play. And instead of it taking me a year to release 30 episodes, it'll take me 6 months to release 30. Well, not even 6 months. It'll take me however long 30 divided by 2 is that many weeks. 15 weeks instead of 30 weeks. It's a kind of thing. And it'll take less time to have more content in one specific thing. To like even to the point where like I had so much backlog content from 7 Days to Die that I was releasing it on vlog days as well. And like
Oh
that's an
wow.
option. Yeah, I had like there were a few weeks where I had 3 episodes out that week. But it's like it's kind of in a game that's being constantly updated like that you kind of need to like constantly release stuff and constantly be playing it until like your series ends because if a big update comes out and you're mid-series you're going to potentially lose that series um or you
Yeah,
need to
that's
live
fair.
into the and like to be honest this recent update the 2.0 update kind of fucking broke the game um, and so like there are so many features that no one liked about it that they had to do a hot fix about 2 months in or about a month and a half in to fix what people didn't like and they still didn't fully fix it. And so now 2.5, which is supposed to be out soon, that should be fixing a lot of the problems that people had as well as incorporating new things, new slash old things. And like so I'm like, all right, well I kind of need to like try this 2.5, but I'll probably do that on live stream first and see how I feel about 2.5 before I decide to do a dedicated series. Because there's just a bunch of other games I feel like would be much better to do in a series.
Yeah, I mean that definitely
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. It's just the struggle of trying to figure out what hits and what doesn't, and we'll see how Forever Skies hits. I know I'm gonna be 100% honest. First episode is a little slow, and like it's just me learning the game. So like I actually end up whispering a lot, like reading things, and like I actually had to turn up the audio a bit on my microphone and the commentary because I was just like learning and enthralled into it. It isn't the best, but it picks up in the second and third episode.
Okay. So how
Yeah.
many episodes do you have right now? Like,
Only 3. Um, I literally only played for about 3 hours. Actually, might it be only 2? I have one edited and recorded, and that one recorded and edited, and that comes out on Friday. And then I have to edit and record the next 2 for next week. Or I've them recorded. I have to edit them still, I believe. So like, this is why I took off the next 3 days or the next 5 days. Like between cleaning and organizing and preparing cookie day and whatnot, I'm going to be editing and cutting videos for next week and for this week, and that's why I can't wait to have like an entire weekend off to where I can just relax, but also do stuff without like a time crunch.
Right. Well, speaking of a time crunch, I feel like that's probably an episode.
Yeah, that sounds about a show.
So in that case, if you would like to find some more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. Hang on, sorry. Oh, sorry, I must have hit something on Audacity and it popped up a weird error. Yeah, you can find more of our content, www.one-quest.com. You can also help us by supporting us at patreon.com/onequest. If you can't support us here with your dollars, though, you can go to your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify. Rate us, review us, subscribe to us. Those things all help. You can also find us on social media, facebook.com/onequestonline or at one_quest on Instagram and Twitter. And our Blue Sky is at one-quest.com, just like the website. You can also find our YouTube channel, youtube.com/onequestvideo, or send us an email at social@one-quest.com. And Rich, you've been talking a whole bunch about streaming, but where can they find that at?
Twitch.tv/B_Walnuts, free to game streaming, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Expedition 33, Date Everything, Sea of Thieves, Gas Station Simulator, and of course, most importantly, that I already talked about at the top of the show, Cookie Day is the 12th of December, so come hang out and potentially win a box of cookies. The only requirement is you make a donation and you follow me. That's it. Just give me a follow and make a donation, and you could be entered in. You will be entered in and could win a box of cookies. If we reach our first goal of $100, guess what? I'm giving away 2 boxes of cookies.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so like, let's see. And if I've made this decision, if somebody donates $100, they just get a fucking box of cookies, and that's the first box of cookies given away. And there's still one more winner that we have to determine. So like,
nice.
Because I have a feeling potentially somebody may donate a decent amount of money that I know, and like they're just gonna get a box of cookies. Like I think I'm setting it to $100, but I might change it down to like $50. If you donate straight up $50, you just get a box of cookies.
That's cool.
I don't know yet. I still have to figure that out.
I'm sorry. I may have drawn a blank. You normally do this for like a charity, like who's the charity?
Yes. This is for charity for Phil Abundance. We're trying to give people food for the holidays because things are expensive, and so people need help getting food.
Nice.
But like also, just like my Ko-Fi coffee, however you pronounce it, link will be linked down if you want to help with like the funding of this event. You are also, I do not need to, I don't want you to, I'd rather you donate to Phil Abundance, but if you want to help with the funding of this event or the shipping of the cookies, you can donate directly to me, and I'll also enter you in to win those cookies. But it would be like a 2-to-1 ratio, $2 for one entry if you're donating to me, whereas it's a 1-to-1 ratio if you're donating to Phil Abundance.
Nice. Very nice.
Because again, like I appreciate it, but it's more for the charity.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that, we will be back next week with something else to talk about. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See yas.